Hey everyone, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be solving Leetcode 287 titled Find the Duplicate Number. Okay, so we're given an integer array nums containing n plus 1 integers where each integer is in the range of 1 to n exclusive. So there's only one repeated number in our nums input array, and we simply have to return this repeated number. We have to solve the problem without actually modifying the array nums, and we can only use constant extra space. Okay, and this line of criteria, given in this problem is probably the most important, and you guys will see why just in a bit. So our example 1, we have an input array nums of 1, 3, 4, 2, and 2, and our output would be 2 because that is the value that appeared twice, basically more than once in our array. And if we apply that same logic to examples 2 and 3, we'll see that our outlier, or our value in the input array that appeared more than once, or 2 or more times, is 3 in both examples. Okay, so I'll give you guys a few seconds to kind of just go over the problem in your head and try to think of your own solution. But if you can't think of your own solution, that's completely fine. I will show you guys how to actually optimally solve this in a few seconds. Okay. So another very important part of this problem is that all the integers appear only once in our array, except for only precisely one, which appears 2 or more times. And that is actually also very important because we don't actually have to deal with any crazy edge cases now that we're given that criteria. Okay, so one thing to note is that the two main data structures in really any major programming language that uses only constant extra space, including Python, is hash maps and hash sets. So what we can actually do here is actually initialize an empty hash set and then scan through the array. If the element that we're looking at in the array currently is already in our hash map, we've already found a duplicate value and we simply have to return that value. Otherwise, we can add it to our set, or basically our initialized set, and say, hey, that is the number that we're actually tracking and adding to our set, which simply stores every single element to check if it's already been looked at before in our input array nums. So what we'll do is we'll get our set, and that's going to be equal to an initializing set of an empty set. And what we will do is we'll say for I in our nums input array, we'll scan through every element in the nums array. We'll say if I is already in our set, that means this is already a number we've looked at and added to our set that's already previously in the array, meaning it is a duplicate and we simply have to return I. Otherwise, if it's not in our set, we can simply add it to our set as one more unique value that we've actually now looked at and added within our array. So we'll say our set dot add I. And after this, all we have to do is simply submit the code, because this iteration literally checks every single element to see if it's already stored within our hash set, and if we have already seen it in our set as already being stored previously from our array, we can simply return it as a duplicate value, and if we haven't seen it before, we can add it to our set and store it in our set, okay? And if we were to submit this, we would see that it is actually very efficient, beating 80.97% of users, and it is very, very good. Okay, so a quick recap of the code. We initialize our set variable to be an empty set. We scan through every single element in the array. If we already saw that element that we're currently looking at in our set, we have to already return that value as our duplicate number. However, if we haven't seen it, that means it's still a unique value that we're currently looking at, and we can simply add it to our set, which stores every single element in our input array to check for duplicate numbers. So if you guys enjoyed this solution, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.